Hey everybody, it's Sensei Sid with Fields Karate. Senpai Danny is here with me again to show you one more bunkai from one of our kata. Today we're going to take a look at Heian Nidan. This is the second kata that we teach at Fields Karate. And the very beginning of this kata steps out to the left with what appears to be a modified head block and a mid block. We're going to find out here in a minute that that's not exactly the case, but that's what it looks like. Then you're going to draw the left hand back, uppercut, and then a hammer fist. So we're going to walk through how that works, but again, I want to remind you, as you work through your bunkai and you get creative and you try to apply your kata techniques to real life situations, working with a partner, remember that if it works, it's correct. If it doesn't work, it's not correct. But if what you come up with works and works well, and it's something that you could use on the spur of the moment, then it's a good bunkai. And remember, the whole idea of this is to take your kata, break it into pieces, and apply those pieces and parts in a way that's very practical and useful. If you don't know the bunkai of your kata, then you don't really know the kata, and you've missed the point behind having a kata anyway. Now, to Heian Nidan. Danny-san, if you would. Danny is going to step back into a fighting stance. He's going to throw what we call a haymaker. It's just kind of a wild swing. As he does, and we're just going to do this slowly for the moment. Step in with your haymaker. Hey. I'm going to block with just a forearm block, okay, a very natural block. And at the same time, instead of blocking with this hand, it's a strike to the nose. So I'm striking in the face. And then for the uppercut, I'm going to drop my left hand underneath his arm, push it over my head, and I'm going to draw my right hand back and strike underneath with an uppercut. Now, if you are familiar with boxing at all, you know that a boxer's uppercut is usually very close in, very vertical, very straight up. When we do our uppercuts, we tend to push out more because we want to create some distance. So as he throws that haymaker, again, block with a strike, and I'm blocking and striking at the same time. Early on in your karate training, you're often blocking and then striking. But as you get more advanced, they become at the same time. Move his arm over mine, over my head, strike up and out to create some distance. And then as I retract my right hand, I'm going to grab his sleeve or his arm somewhere and pinch it in tight, chamber back, and I'm going to do a hammer fist. Now, depending on where I grab with this hand, when I draw it back after that uppercut, it's going to determine what surface I strike with on this hammer fist. If I catch him at the wrist down by his hand, I'm going to strike with the butt of my fist, okay? Because that's where the distance lays out. But as I come under, I might grab higher up, closer to the elbow. So when I do it, I'm going to be striking with my forearm closer to my elbow. Either one is correct. It's still a hammer fist strike, but you don't always strike with the fist on a hammer fist. Sometimes you strike with the fist, sometimes you strike with the wrist, sometimes you strike with the forearm closer to the elbow. Okay? Once you get behind the elbow, now it's an elbow strike. So that's kind of the point at where it changes into a different technique. Which is one that, if you were close enough, you could use here, but the kata calls for a hammer fist. So you're going to be striking with the fist or the wrist or maybe further down on the forearm. So, Danny, if you would reset, a little bit faster. Strike. That's going to be the application for Heian Nidan. We'll do it one more time, again going slowly because I want you to understand how this breaks down. Karate is meant to be very fluid. In the beginning stages of your training, it's very structured, very stable, very structured, very almost robotic. And as you advance, you realize that karate is not meant to be that way. It's supposed to be very natural movements, but better trained natural movements. So you have better, almost like better habits as you fight. So Danny, if you would reset, strike going slow, block and strike, reset, uppercut to the jaw, reach back and grab, chamber, hammer fist. And there is your bunkai, your application for Heian Nidan. Got to Senpai Dan? Yes. And thank you guys for watching. I hope this has helped explain and open your eyes as to how you can use kata. We say here often, kata is not the only way that we train. but it is the main way that we train. And this has been true for decades and decades and decades. For a long, long time, the main way that we've trained in martial arts is through these kata, but not just as a dance or a karate version of a dance, but every move of every kata has a purpose. But remember, that purpose is not always what it appears to be on the surface. A lock is a block, is a blow, is a throw, is a great motto to remember, that anything that you're using can be used typically in another way that's a little bit further below the surface. So keep that in mind as you work through it, and I want to give you a little bit of a challenge. Make an effort to go through every kata that you know and come up with a bunkai, one that works for every move of every kata that you know. This is going to take you some time. It's going to be a challenge. If you have some trouble, shoot me a question or shoot your instructor a question. They should be very, very glad to answer that. I know I certainly would be. But you have a lot of freedom of expression. This is where karate becomes expressive for you. Not robotic. Robots don't express themselves. But you and I, Senpai Danny, we do. And we can do that inside of our karate. And one of the ways we do that is by how we apply and use our kata. So I hope this has been helpful. I hope you've enjoyed it. I know we certainly have. And we want to thank you for watching. We hope to see you again soon.